Now it's back to school season, and one local group is making sure every kid is prepared on day one. And multimillionaire financier and accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein has died in jail. Plus, celebrating our diverse community by inviting minorities to get to know each other while staying healthy.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining News 3 Now at 6. I'm Amanda Quintana. The days of summer are limited and the start of the school year is just around the corner. Gabriella Becerra shares how a local organization helps families in need with essentials for a successful school year.
The 100 Black men of Madison started this back-to-school celebration in the garage of a member's home 25 years ago. And now today it's grown so large that they're able to invite everyone to Madison College, where they provide more than just backpacks and school supplies.
Did you guys get bags yet?
Over 1,500 backpacks.
This one?
All filled with school supplies.
Like 4 folders, 12 pencils.
And ready to go home with a student who needs one.
We found that there was a need in the community. A lot of kids were a little concerned about going back to school at the beginning of the new school year because they didn't have the right clothes, they didn't have the right school supplies, they didn't have things that were new and fresh and shiny. And everybody knows that when you have something that's new and fresh and shiny, it's going to energize you. It's going to make you excited about getting to where you need to be.
Across the U.S., parents spent hundreds of dollars in supplies last school year, according to communities and schools. And 60% of parents say it's hard to afford school supplies, according to a study by Junior Achievement. The 100 Black men of Madison want to help those parents.
A lot of these parents could probably not provide these brand new resources for their child, and so they're looking at this as a boost up, as a helping hand, as something that will help them at least tread water and move forward.
It's very costly, and financially, as far as the supplies, it helps a great deal.
Rachel Usher brought her grandchildren and great-nieces to get ready for school.
It's very helpful with like the supplies. They have good books, for the children that are just starting to read.
And now parents can relax.
We provide stress balls. That's more for the parents, but that's what we provide too.
Because their kids are set up for success.
Know that she's prepared going back to school, that she has the resources and tools that she needs to be successful. So this helped to do that.
The back-to-school celebration included health screenings, reduced lunch registration, free haircuts, car seats, all of that for free. Sims says they'll continue to hold this signature back-to-school celebration every year.
That's a lot of important stuff. All right, thank you so much, Gabby. Let's get a look at your first alert weather with Dave Caulfield. Well, back to school does not mean summer is ending soon, Dave.
I mean, it's crazy to think about. I thought it was just July 1st, but no, we are now into the middle of August. We've seen a few showers west of Madison throughout the day, but most of us have stayed dry so far on this Saturday. That could change as we get into tonight and into the overnight hours. Into early Sunday morning. So Doppler track, we could see just a few blips off to the north and west, some showers affecting spots like Viroqua right now. But in Madison, still looking at that sunshine, some clouds as well. A pretty shot there on the WISC-TV Skycam. Temperatures in the upper 70s for the most part still. We reached highs near 80 degrees across much of southern Wisconsin today. Dew points are in the upper 50s. Starting to see those dew points come up a little bit across portions of southwestern Wisconsin, closer to those rain showers. So your day planner, showers overnight, maybe a thunderstorm or two into early Sunday morning, but I do think that Sunday afternoon will be dry with highs near 80 and mostly cloudy skies. We do have an alert day now in the forecast for some heavy rain possible on Monday. We'll go over that in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Dave. Disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein died today in an apparent suicide in his jail cell in New York City. Epstein was found unresponsive this morning at the Metropolitan Correctional Center and pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. His death comes as the wealthy and well-connected financier awaited trial on charges including federal sex trafficking and sexually abusing dozens of underage girls. The 66-year-old who led a life of luxury with mansions and a jet plane was denied bail last month after pleading not guilty in federal court. At the time, one of his accusers urged others to come forward.
It's no surprise that Jeffrey Epstein was also sexually abusing girls in New York. He did it everywhere. And as long as the victims speak up, he isn't going to get away this time.
Epstein's reported failed suicide attempt in the same facility last month is raising a lot of questions about how this happened and the jail's suicide watch policy. In a statement, U.S. Attorney General Williams Barr says he was appalled by the news and that the Inspector General will investigate in addition to the FBI. One of his accusers said in a statement, quote, "We will have to live with the scars of his actions for the rest of our lives." More local news now. Staffers at a Madison detox center found child pornography in a man's car yesterday morning. Chief Mike Koval says staff at the Tellurian Detox told police that just after 10 o'clock, a 55-year-old man came to the facility claiming someone dropped him off. That's when the staff noticed the man's car was in the parking lot, and inside that car they found child pornography and alcohol. Officials say officers arrived and arrested the suspect on a probation hold for possessing the pornography. Beloit police are issuing a warning to car thieves after one was caught on camera. The department's Facebook page, officials posted pictures taken of a man trying to break into a car on the 1900 block of Pioneer Drive. The post reminds people that many parking lots have high-quality cameras and that entering a car without the owner's consent can result in arrest. Police are still searching for the Pioneer Drive suspect and have asked residents for their help. A bullet went through a Madison home early this morning, and police are still looking for the shooter. Several residents called MPG just after 4 o'clock in the morning to report hearing shots fired around Northport Drive and Morrow Court. Officials say they made contact with a 19-year-old woman in the 500 block of Northport Drive. The woman says a bullet entered her home and was lodged in a bathroom closet. Police also found bullet casings in the area outside of her home. Earlier this week, a woman was grazed by a bullet while sitting inside her apartment, also on Madison's north side. Around the state, authorities in eastern Wisconsin say a 2-year-old was severely injured in a lawnmower accident. Sheboygan County Dispatch says it received a call about the accident yesterday afternoon in the village of Hingham. Officials say the child suffered life-threatening injuries and was airlifted to a hospital, and the accident does not appear to be criminal. 10 people are hurt after a chain reaction crash involving 6 cars and a loaded dump truck. Authorities say the crash happened on southbound Interstate 94 just before 11 o'clock this morning. Investigators say traffic was slowed for a construction vehicle exiting the construction area. The dump truck was unable to stop and struck the rear car, causing a chain reaction crash. Rescue personnel transported 10 people for minor injuries. A judge has rejected Stephen Avery's request for a new trial. Avery's 2005 killing of photographer Teresa Halbach was featured in the Netflix series Making a Murderer. Halbach's remains were found in the Avery family's salvage yard. Avery argued the state turned over bones to the Halbach family without notifying the defense, but the judge ruled that does not mean Avery should get a new trial. The bones were given to Halbach's family in 2011, but Avery's attorneys were not notified until last year. Avery's attorney tweeted an appeal is likely. A parade of presidential candidates are greeting voters and eating pork chops at the Iowa State Fair. 9 candidates are speaking on the political soapbox today, where they get about 20 minutes to make a pitch to voters in a state where primaries are only 6 months away.
We must turn the page, and this election is about more than that, because obviously dude gotta go.
I think it is pretty important, Iowa, to have a candidate from the Midwest, from the heartland right now.
What happens in 2020 is going to determine the direction of our country, not just for 4 years or for 8 years, but for generations to come.
More candidates will take the stage tomorrow, including Senators Bernie Sanders and Michael Bennet, as well as billionaire Tom Steyer, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio, and Republican challenger Bill Weld. The Iowa State Fair runs until next Sunday in Des Moines. El Paso native and 2020 presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke is not in Iowa. He's still in El Paso. The League of United Latin American Citizens, the largest and oldest Hispanic membership organization in the country, led the March for a United America there today. The group aims to rally for unity and call for stricter gun control, specifically after last Saturday's massacre at an El Paso Walmart where 22 people were killed. O'Rourke has been in his hometown since last weekend and helped hold the banner at the front of today's march. Still to come on News 3 Now at 6, students may not be taking advantage of all the discounts available to them. Consumer Reports has tips on where to find some big savings. Well, it's no question buying everything a college student needs is expensive, but you can ease some of the sting by taking advantage of student discounts. From laptops to clothes, even cars and a late-night burger binge, the discounts are there. Josh Spreiter for Consumer Reports has more on where to find them.
Like many students on a fixed budget, Nadine Schieffer is always on the hunt for bargains.
When it comes to using student discounts, I usually use them on clothing purchases.
If you're shopping for clothes at mall stores such as Banana Republic, Madewell, and Club Monaco, there are special student discounts as much as 15%. Club Monaco will give you the same 15% with online purchases, as will J.Crew and Levi's.
Of course, you have to prove you are a student, either by producing a student ID at the register or an EDU email address.
Apple computers rarely go on sale, but the company offers an education discount that's open to all students, faculty, and staff. And for mobile phones, ring up savings at Sprint and AT&T, which offer students from certain colleges special savings.
Of course, students have to eat. Chain restaurants typically do not offer student discounts, but a local franchise might, so it doesn't hurt to ask.
Students can also save on transportation, 15% or more off of Amtrak for students 13 to 25 traveling on certain lines. And don't forget apps and memberships like Amazon Prime Student, Unidays, and ID.me. Some are free to join, and careful research on their sites can uncover some gems. With this Consumer Reports, I'm Josh Spreiter for News 3 Now.
For parents of students buying a car, General Motors offers thousands off a new car purchase, reduced lease prices, and deferred payments if the student makes the purchase. Coming up next on News 3 Now at 6, we'll take you to Oregon and show you a triathlon that only takes about an hour to complete.
Some showers are possible tonight, and then heavy rain may set up across southern Wisconsin as we head into Monday. We'll go over it all in your forecast coming up next.
Freedom Inc. is hosting its 15th annual Health Day. Around 300 people attended the event, which is Black, Hmong, low-income, queer, and trans-friendly, and provides a place where people can get together and get to know each other. The event featured a talent show, 5K run-walk, basketball, and volleyball tournaments. Hundreds of children competed at the Oregon Kids Triathlon this morning. The event started back in 2006 as a way to get kids outside and active during the summer. Race director Dawn Ferris says it's a fun way to spend a Saturday and help kids find a love for multiple sports.
It's pretty exciting to see, especially those little ones, how proud they feel of accomplishing this, and they cross that finish line and they're able to say, I'm a triathlete. So it's pretty cool to see those little ones kind of find a passion for this and continue doing this in the future and staying active.
Of course, the kids ages 5 to 14 were not going to do a full triathlon, so the course was kid-sized. The young athletes started with a pool swim, moved on to an in-village bike course, and finished with an on-trail run course with race length dependent on age group. Let's get a look at your first alert weather with Dave Caulfield. It was a pretty good day to jump in the pool today.
Yeah, not too bad with temperatures near 80. I'm a triathlete too, but I spell it T-R-Y and then athlete, as in I try to be an athlete. Good for those kids though, and good for the weather for holding up for those festivities. We did see a fair amount of sunshine throughout this Saturday, and the showers mainly staying west of Madison, and they've been pretty light throughout the day. That is starting to change though as that low pressure system gets a little bit closer to southern Wisconsin. Actually, some severe weather starting to form across portions of southern Minnesota right near the Iowa state line, so we're watching that closely. I don't anticipate any severe weather across southern Wisconsin this go around, but a few showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm possible, especially as we get into the overnight hours. And so far this August, we've seen about 1.5 inches of rain, and we're about a third of the way through the month, so we're actually right on schedule, but we could add quite a bit to those rain totals over the next couple of days, specifically as we get into Monday. So rain chances, I do think that the umbrella will be needed early tomorrow morning, but the shower chances start to go down as we get into the afternoon and evening hours of Sunday. They do go back up though on Monday as a warm front sets up, and we could have some pretty heavy rain set up across portions of southern Wisconsin as we head into Monday afternoon and evening. More on that in just a little bit. Right now, though, in Platteville, we're looking at mostly clear skies, mostly sunny skies on the Queen Bee Radio Skycam. Similar story on the Edgewater Skycam overlooking the Capitol and downtown Madison. Today's high of 79 degrees, just a touch off that normal for this time of year, which should be 80 degrees even. And we should be right around the 60s at night. We'll be in the mid-60s as we head into tomorrow morning. Temperatures in some other spots, 77 in Madison, 77 in Mineral Point and in Platteville and in Dubuque. Lucky 7s down there. 76 in Monroe and 79 in Janesville. Dew points are in the upper 50s. Starting to see those 60s. Some slightly stickier air return to southwestern Wisconsin. As I mentioned, that alert day in the forecast for Monday for southern Wisconsin. Showers and thunderstorms developing in the afternoon and early evening hours. About 1 to 2 inches of rain is possible. Locally heavier amounts are also possible. So here's our excessive rainfall outlook. The Weather Prediction Center giving us a slight risk of flash flooding occurring within 25 miles of a point. That's what that means. This map means, that is. So we're watching that closely. It all really depends on where a warm front sets up. So we'll see those showers and storms roll through tomorrow morning. Some downpours are possible, but most of that rain should be relatively light. Then as we head into Monday, that becomes a little bit of a different story. You see those bright colors showing up. That could be some heavy rain. I do think the severe weather will stay away on Monday. That will stay to the south, which is good news, but we could be looking at some heavy rainfall and some localized flooding as well, with those GFS precipitation numbers painting us with about 1 to 3 inches of rainfall by the time we get to early Tuesday morning. 7 to 10 day forecast showing those showers wrapping up early on Tuesday, then the nicer and calmer weather returning for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I know we're talking about back to school a lot, but it doesn't look like summer is ending just yet as we head into next weekend. A little bit more humid, warmer with those showers and storms returning.
Get through that Monday.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Dave. The injury bug hits the Packers. We've got the details next in sports.
Well, the goals of preseason football vary from team to team, but across the board, everyone just wants to avoid injury before the real deal starts. Now, the Packers losing linebacker Oren Burks today in practice. He reportedly tore a pectoral muscle, according to ESPN. He'll have more tests to figure out how bad it is, but he is expected to miss a significant chunk of time if it is that bad. Burks was drafted in the 3rd round last year and is a starter right now. Meanwhile, head coach Matt LaFleur giving us his analytical assessment of the team's performance in preseason game number 1. He was happy that his guys picked up the pace between plays, but still thinks they need to finish strong.
There's a lot to improve upon. I thought the energy and effort was pretty good. I thought our operation that I talk about from an offensive perspective was much better. We were in and out of the huddle. I think there was only one time where we even got remotely close to getting a delay, so I was happy with that. I think there's another level in terms of just our receivers in the run game. They got to be into it. That's going to help us go.
All right, so we only have 3 more Saturdays left without college football. The Badgers are exempt from that because they've got a Friday night kick on August 30th in Tampa. Now, we've seen a lot of Jonathan Taylor and Garrett Groshek happening in the backfield throughout the first few camps. Both guys with plenty of experience, 2 seasons under their belts. Groshek with a redshirt freshman year on top of that. So expect to see a lot of them this year.
How can you play with what you think are your best players? And a lot of times, your best is also experienced. So I think it's probably a little bit of that where you're just trying to, how can we get our best players on the field? And, we obviously think highly of those 2. And so you're trying to find all the different combinations.
And just 2.5 games separate the Brewers and Cubs for the top spot in the NL Central. And last night, Brewers, depending on some late-inning heroics to bail them out in a game that included 22 walks between the Crew and the Rangers. Tie game in the bottom of the 9th. Eric Thames, a high drive to right field for the walk-off. Brewers beat the Rangers 6-5. Meanwhile, tonight, Texas going with Pedro Payano on the mound. Adrian Hauser starting for the Brew Crew. And still no Christian Yelich in the Brewers starting lineup. The reigning NL MVP missing his 4th straight game with some back issues. Right now, they are scoreless in the 1st inning. Finally tonight, you got to watch this. Olympic gymnast Simone Biles, synonymous with greatness, and last night defying gravity again. A dismount from the balance beam that no one has ever done before. If you were counting, that was 2 flips, 2 twists. Here's the slow-mo. Hits the landing with just a slight step to the side. This was at the U.S. Gymnastics Championship. She obviously moved on to the finals today. She has 25 World Championship titles and Olympic medals, including 18 golds. Now, the fact that anyone can walk across the balance beam for me is a miracle. That was phenomenal.
She is amazing.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Love her. All right.
Yeah,
love you, Dave. You're next.
We love Dave, too. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm not doing that anytime soon. Congrats, Simone. We are looking at an alert day in the forecast for Monday, though. Some heavy rain is possible. Before we get there, though, some showers and thunderstorms overnight should wrap up by tomorrow afternoon. Highs near 80 over the next couple of days. Nicer weather by the middle of next week.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.